Yes, we'll be back from the break. Exactly 4 minutes past 9. Smart Means Business. I'm Andrew Marigi this morning, and of course, discussing matters to do with science and innovation. Seeing it take course within the country, as we believe it's part of the pillars of the National Development Plan 3. Enhancing leveraging on science and technology for socio-economic transformation of the country, Uganda. And of course, like we've been seeing, massive improvements in the various institutions across the country, tech-based institutions. We are seeing also in some of the universities which are taking this whole innovation perspective to a whole new level in terms of a way that is very engaging, and not to make it boring, as a way to encourage generations upon generations to be a part of this particular move for the tech move for this country, science and technology. And of course, for that reason, this morning I'm joined with Roderick Mohomure. He's a student, part of the organizers of the STEAM Festival that happened last week. And well, it's there to encourage quite a number of participants, and I feel like it's an avenue for mentorship, most especially if you see yourself really get so deep into science and innovation. Roderick, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. Many thanks for joining us. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for hosting me today on Smart 24 on this morning show. Okay,
very interesting. Maybe before we get into any further related discussions, I wanted us to take a look at the STEAM Festival, which concluded last week, and seeing its your projected impact as a result of this. And maybe we would also love to know what is the main purpose behind this event?
Mainly, STEAM Festival, one is an acronym that stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Mathematics. So being a festival, it's something that we wish to show science in action, science in play, whereby the community can ably participate or engage in science without taking it so serious, but rather as a norm. Innovation should be a way
lifestyle.
Of life. Yes, a lifestyle of the people. Yes. And what are our objectives and goals? For starters, we are inspired by the country we are living in. Yes, our economy may not be doing as the best economies in the world, but we wish to have an economy that actually is empowered by the people themselves. Africa is a hub of brilliant minds, and more specific, Uganda. We have a lot of intelligent minds in Uganda that we have to inspire and aspire to take action. And basing on that, we have a lot of brain drain as a country.
Brain drain, yes, true.
For example, last year, statistics show that over 2,000 graduates left the country to go and work
2,000?
Yes, to go and work as maids or some other things, but which are less their qualification.
Yes.
So as the STEAM Festival Secretariat with Chambogo University, we believe that how do we reduce the rate at which we lose our brain resources. Because you know the human capital is the biggest resource you can have in any country. So the STEAM Festival comes to now tap into those ideas, innovations that these people actually could have, and they are not given a platform. The floor is never leveled, but it is now upon us as STEAM Festival to level the ground so that everyone out there can actually, instead of going out, start something that will employ other people. So we look at one, increasing employment opportunities for the people, especially the young people. We look at empowering the marginalized categories of people, because we prioritize them when we are looking at inclusion. And also we look at having people understand science, like in an easier way. If someone is doing, let's say, mathematics, how can you be able to make someone who was biased about math understand it from the start? And if someone is doing creative design, some people are so primitive and rigid. Maybe rigid would be better. That I'll be like, I can't pay tuition for my son to go and do MDD at campus. I can't allow my son to go and do art. Yet these are the actual businesses that really earn a lot.
A lot of money.
Yes, a lot of money, a lot of knowledge, and create much employment for the people of our country.
Okay.
So that was the motivation that we got, and we used it as a platform to demystify science technology, so that people can embrace it. And in the changing world, without creativity,
absolutely,
I think we have no way through. And we believe if STEAM Festival is upheld by all the stakeholders in our country,
yes,
it will be a very, very big national platform, especially to support our NDP3 as we are transiting to the NDP4. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And even if you're looking at the SDGs, there is one talking about quality education.
Exactly.
There is no education, as you clearly know, in our country, whereby arguments have been happening throughout, and scholars are choosing the National Curriculum Development Center, saying that our education system is much more theoretical and is not applicable. It creates job.
Actually, I saw a report today in the New Vision saying that Uganda's labor force in a sorry state, and it's the education to be blamed.
Yeah, you see, thank you so much for that. Actually, you see, that is very true, because if at all we do not do something about it and keep on blaming the people who design the curriculum, I think we also have something to blame. Like, let's not blame.
Let's not attach, our insecurities with saying, we're trying to find a reason to defend our listeners.
That's
Can I say that?
And I'll give an example. Maybe it's a saying from an African saying that the education of a child in a community is the responsibility of everyone in the environment.
Okay?
Yes. So that means that if at all we see the education system is not the best, how best as individuals can we support, improve it? So that's how platforms like the STEAM Festival were started. And we believe the government can come and borrow a leaf or even do funding, because in most cases you find we are struggling on organizing such a festival. It supports national development. But we shall not give up, and we shall continue to fight for the Ugandans and for the young generations, because this is the ultimate goal that will help transit our country into actually the middle income status that we are always praying for.
We're always praying for. Now, I was trying to look at something here in line with adaptability and how the reception of this entirety of the science move, because according to, it's been a while since I last been in campus, but then at least for the times I've been walking all around the campus students, there is all this bias about science related subjects, and they all seem to be getting into the pool of this normal, I call them normal, sorts of way. How are we doing to make sure that we increase the uptake of science, amongst these students? Okay, just away from the festivals, but I'm trying to look at a strategy which grooms a child's mind, or that student's mind, from a much more tender stage than waiting for them to reach campus. Because now the STEAM Festival, this is now the art campus. But then how are we doing to ensure that we zero down to the grassroots, from primary coming into secondary, to create the gospel of science real and attractive to every child that will be coming out there?
The first thing, I like this question, because the first time I joined the secretariat, I asked the coordinator. I had issues with math at my mathematics. Yes, so I asked her about it, and then she told me, and that's the best same answer I'll give you. The problem why we have a low uptake of young people into science is the methods of teaching.
The methods of teaching.
Yes. For example, a teacher will come, let's say you've just joined P3, when you are going to start maybe some little of math, or maybe senior one when O-level where math is compulsory, and then they're using these hard terms. Someone will come and be like, today we are studying about Pythagoras theorem. So they just put the formula there and they leave it to you to cram. Yes. And they do not simplify it, because I believe, I've come to learn actually, math is our daily life.
It's life.
Because even whatever you're doing, there is that element of calculation. And those are the things that these people who got these things based on to create actually these Pythagoras theorems.
Real life experiences.
Yes, real life experiences. So most teaching methods are mainly threatening to students.
Okay.
Yes. So I'll come and put a formula there, and then maybe for the can I call it fast learning students will grab it, but for me, who is slow, I will not understand it. However much I may be slow at understanding such a formula, but that doesn't mean that I'm slow in life.
I'm slow, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you explained it in a more way that I would understand easily, I would actually get on board and love the science subjects. Let's talk of chemical equations. Someone will come and throw it there for you, yet they do not break it down in a way that you can understand.
That you can understand it.
Now that's where this festival comes in, because I remember the first time the festival happened, there was a mathematics department. They had a demonstration of pi. You know pi?
Pi, that formula which had 2012, exactly.
Yes. Yeah, so that formula.
Yeah.
So they were trying to show it how it is actually a circle, how you can get the actual information, like how you can understand it in real life using eggplants.
Eggplants. Sure.
Yeah, something simple. Because I was looking at, if you have a senior one student coming to see that, they will never forget.
Okay.
Why don't teachers come into classrooms with such real life experiences when teaching science subjects? That's one of the questions. The other question was about how are we creating a path for the young people to be involved, especially at a tender age?
At tender age, yeah.
The festivals are always open to the students' community, actually high school.
Even high school,
yes.
In whichever, even primary students can be a part of that.
Yes, that is very much. Actually, it is interesting to note that last week we had over 5 high schools coming. Secondary schools. Yeah. There was Navisunsa, there was Gayaza, there was Chambogo College, there was Namiriango
Junior.
Yes, so they came and they are part of the festival. Because the science we are showing actually embeds with the new curriculum.
Okay.
Yes. If you have looked deep into the new curriculum, whereby yes, it is less of studying, but more of the work you can, your practical, your involvement in day-to-day affairs of the community. Day-to-day affairs. Those are the things we're exhibiting and showing, because it's not us who are doing them, but it is the community that is teaching. Because what are you good at is the first question we look at. If you know, you identify yourself through the training sessions we have, and then you're like, okay, hi Roderick, I'm good at public communication or public speech. So how do I help someone who is maybe into sales better their skills into public communication? So that's how we look at it, and I believe we have moved the milestone from the first edition up to the third edition that we have recently finished. But now we are not saying that we are finishing, we are now walking towards the next.
Very interesting. And you know, there is this whole perspective I also still think, you know, I see many innovators out there, most especially in the ICT, information technology, and the question is, are the innovations that are developed by the young innovators in our country, Uganda, solving actual problems to ensure sustainability? Because we are still more in the prototype stage
Oh, that is a very good question. Actually, it's a challenging question. Yeah. So the first problem we have with prototypes is that they're everywhere. Every university in the country at the final stage, maybe your final year, you're supposed
to make a project.
You make a project, and it dies there. Because after the project, you have gotten your A or B plus.
You're done. You can't take it on to see how you
join the streets for hustling. So that is the problem. But now, when we looked at this, how do we take off innovations from the prototype stage? We shall give some examples of people who have actually done innovations that have been off prototype stage. I'll give you an example of Tubayo.
I know Tubayo. Yes.
That is one of the people we actually look up to as a festival, and you're like, hey, it's not just you. Everyone started small, just by an idea. You can be able to bring the idea to life. Yes. So that was one. Then we also have Safe Border. These are local innovations that have started from Uganda and have solved a broad range of problems. Right now, someone is not worried when they're coming from up country. They're like, when I reach Kampala, I'll use Safe Border. I don't know where I'm going, but they'll reach. So, and actually, somebody should pay for this. So that is one of the innovations that we can actually benchmark on as a country. So even as the festival, some of the innovations we had in the previous edition, we are happy that they were taken up by somewhere at national level, maybe by National Council for Education, by World Environment Day organized by them. These students or youth from the community have been able to go and exhibit at such levels. And how we can kick them off, one is by continuous involvement and training, especially the major challenge we have is how do we make them into businesses,
commercially viable, commercializing those innovations. Yes, that is very true.
Yes, that is very true, because at times it needs a huge capital that as a festival we may not have, but we believe by public engagement, and I believe in SDGs because I like them. So there is SDG 17, Partnership for the Goals. And when we look at it, when Smart 24 comes here, does a part on the STEM festival, and we also do this, the universities do this, the secondary schools come and contribute something. So we believe we shall move a milestone, and actually these innovations solve the people's problems, daily problems that we have. For example, we don't have to think so much of someone in the city because most of your problems are solved. But how is someone in the village who walks miles to get water? And they really don't see any solution. Someone who is depending on charcoal or firewood, and LPG, this gas is expensive, they cannot afford it. And they have no electricity. Even if they had, they cannot afford it. What do you think solve these problems? I'm excited to say that among our students, in the last cohort of the innovation of the STEM festival was looking at the people living with disabilities, the ones who are the person. The theme of that prototype was looking at the people with disabilities. And he created an application or a software that you can interact with your gadget, your PC, without actually talking or even touching, by rather body language.
How? It's
I know it's so
it's mind blowing.
So that's how it was. And now we are looking at, we have very many people who would wish to use gadgets, but maybe unfortunately they do not have the arms. So this is something that someone can actually feel free and they feel involved, because what we consider is involvement within the festival. And this was a good platform, we believe, and the innovation went up to an international level. And we hope for the best.
For the best.
Yes.
Because, I look at a scenario whereby people start earning from their craft, from what they do, whereby it's no longer about surviving on venture capital, capital firms to come and support you, but now the innovation is making the profits back. Let's discuss about the low uptake of local innovations. What do you think is the cause of that?
The cause of low uptake of
locally.
Yes, the locally made innovations. And we tend to adopt the ones that come from outside. One comes to government policy. That is the first problem. Not the government, but government policy. You find there is no way or big law that is supporting my innovation. If I have it and maybe send it to someone for supporting, this person is most likely going to take it up as theirs, and I'll be rubbed out. We have had issues of technology is not something so big. It's about ideas. So we have had issues with musicians having questions or debates of their copyright
intellectual property.
So that whole statement comes to limit innovators, because we look at music as part of the creative industry. And this is what we are in now. So if government cannot come to protect the innovations of these people, that means we shall have a very, very rich ground. Why do I say the ground is rich? Because all innovations, all ideas have died with the people, and we've buried them. So Africa's soil is much more richer than the people who are living, because of the innovations that have died, and we have actually buried them. So how do we now work towards solving it? One is starting small. We encourage these people to start small. We do not only train students, but also the entire community come and attend our trainings. We give case scenarios. assuming you have $100 and you want to start up a big restaurant, how do you start?
How do you start?
So that is how we are not necessarily training people to depend on grants and loans,
Exactly.
but rather use the little seed capital they have to sustainably grow their ideas and ventures into huge businesses. Because at the ultimate goal, what we need to see is a thriving economy that is built by the innovation of the Ugandans.
Okay.
Yes, and so far, so good, and we are heading there, because in the first edition, we had a lot of opposition, internal and external. You find people are not understanding. They're like, Steam, what is this?
That is this.
Yes, you guys, you are going to be steaming around, but we believe it is not so serious. We dance, we support innovations, and we bring everyone on board. So that shows you that we are not getting actually our ideas. Because for me, I can tell you, during this festival, I decide I don't know. So I'll come and listen from you. I'm like, so I've come up with this idea. I'll believe I don't know anything. Then it is your idea that will keep on transiting to another level.
Okay, very amazing, interesting discussion here with Roderick Muhumure. He's a student, he's a research student at Chambago University and part of the organizers of the STEAM event that transpired a few days back. Well, at this particular time, we're going to take a short break, but of course still returning with Roderick Muhumure as we break down the innovations for community transformation, both social and economically. Stick around.
Smart 24, driving business.
Cooking oil like no other makes your meal so sweet and scrumptious. The taste of Uganda, yeah, the taste of Uganda.
My friend, just enter. Everyone now has all access to Pearl Magic Prime. Kasim, give this man some biscuits.
They're over.
They're over. But you see these people here, they are on GOTV Plus, like you. But now they can watch big shows like Sanyu, or they can watch Beloved and they cry. So my friend, from now on, it's more magic to Uganda's best shows on GOTV Plus.
Luxury redefined at Seasan Hotel as you indulge in the splendor of elegant living fit for the royalty that you are. Step into comfort, pampering and blissful customer-centric service as you select from our range of comfy exquisite living quarters furnished to meet with your royal preference. Surrounded by scenic beauty, our tropical setting allows you to escape the glamorous ordeal of city life. Our ambient green gardens will guide you to a place of revitalizing rest. The 3-star restaurant caters to your palate, serving your choice menu ranging from exotic cuisines to local delicacies. Our chefs will serve you full course meals for a truly out-of-this-world culinary experience. Our fully stocked bar to whet your throat, from renowned global brand whisks, brandies, gins, beers and wines to our locally celebrated beverages, you will not lack for any brewage. It's an all-new experience in the East at Seasan Hotel. So visit today at Plot 15 to 19 Spire Road, Ginger, or contact us on +256 751 719 960 and +256 785 354 614 for reservations. Seasan Hotels, luxury redefined.
Osmosis is coming.
My bossy, can I borrow fuel? Biggie money, can I borrow renty? Manager, give me some caloni. Okay, what about 5K?
Bw'owetaaga looni oyina MTN Momo weesootinge kozesa Momo app omanyiga *165*5 okufuna looni ey'amangu. Londako looni ekukolera okuva mu looni ez'ebika eby'enjawulo eziva mu bannaffe betukolagana nabo nga tuli wamu tewali kitulema.
Luxury redefined at Seasan Hotel as you indulge in the splendor of elegant living fit for the royalty that you are. Step into comfort, pampering and blissful customer-centric service as you select from our range of comfy exquisite living quarters furnished to meet with your royal preference. Surrounded by scenic beauty, our tropical setting allows you to escape the glamorous ordeal of city life. Our ambient green gardens will guide you to a place of revitalizing rest. The 3-star restaurant caters to your palate, serving your choice menu ranging from exotic cuisines to local delicacies. Our chefs will serve you full-course meals for a truly out-of-this-world culinary experience. Our fully stocked bar to whet your throat, from renowned global brand whisks, brandies, gins, beers and wines to our locally celebrated beverages, you will not lack for any brewage. It's an all-new experience in the East at Seasan Hotel. So visit today at Plot 15 to 19 Spire Road, Ginger, or contact us on +256 751 719 960 and +256 785 354 614 for reservations. Seasan Hotels, luxury redefined.
Hello tech lovers, obviously we are back with another tech bite, and this time round guys, technology is getting to a bigger and bigger level. We are going from one phantom to the other. Now this tech bite, I introduced to you what we call the smart glasses. Guys, things are getting out of innovation spaces. You need to be at watch. For example, Mark Zuckerberg has already proclaimed his aim to one day ship a pair of smart glasses that does both, but also still feels several generations away. Can you imagine, guys? Now, Meta has invested over 36 billion in research and development in the metaverse so far, to seemingly little benefit. Now, for comparison, Apple spent just over $150 million in research and development to invent the new iPhone. Can you imagine, ladies and gentlemen? Now, when we ask about whether the 36 billion could have been better spent on researching AI, a Meta spokesperson told Sky News that they spend money on AI and they have been working on AI for over a decade. So I think it's hard to quantify anything in that way. So following Meta's announcement of a new chatbot coming to its Messenger app, the spokesperson said they were confident they were keeping pace in the AI arms race against Microsoft and Google. I think we are just doing different things. That's what he mentioned. And he added that we are pretty comfortable with how we are progressing. Guys, alongside the Quest 3, Meta has also updated its Ray-Ban stories and smart glasses. Ladies and gentlemen, it's getting on fire with AI. These do not project images, but they simply capture them. Now, 2 tiny cameras will be built in the chassis of the pair of Ray-Ban sunglasses, which will record the world around you without you even having to take your phone out. Now, this is interesting. You don't have to take your phone out to record whatever you're recording. Are you live on Instagram? Use those smart glasses to record whatever you want to record. Now, these smart glasses, ladies and gentlemen, they do not project images, but they rather capture them. Now, as I mentioned, the last generation of smart glasses was not a roaring success, with one report published last month saying that 90% of customers stopped using theirs shortly after the purchase. So Meta has come with a very verified version. Now, this will be improved cameras on the Ray-Ban glasses. Microphone chips will be built also on the Ray-Ban glasses. Built-in speakers won't only be just there, but they will also be operating for you to record thoroughly and efficiently. This will be enough to make anyone have an attractive proposition for content creators, those who love to make content. This is an opportunity for you to get yourself the new smart glasses. Now, with the Instagram generation family in mind, the spectacles now only shoot in portrait mode without the option of landscape. As someone who works in traditional TV news, I found it a shame to lose the landscape feature, but the logic behind makes a lot of sense. Now, serial Instagrammers, serial TikTokers will appreciate the changes. Obviously, they will love these glasses, but whether the general public will or not remains to be seen. The built-in speakers situated in the glasses offered good quality music. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Bluetooth music. Playback, of course, which also looks at the heavy tracks during your content creation. Now, to me, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a very good one for those who love to do content creation, those who love to do live Instagram videos, live TikTok videos. It's an opportunity for you to actually grab yourself the smart glasses. Now, in the world of technology, we bring you the smart glasses. Get yourself a pair and have yourself a very good tech week. Bye-bye.
Smart 24, driving business.
Well, exactly 22 minutes to the top of the hour. Smart means business. I'm Andrew Ubarije, and discussing matters to do with the science and following the event that happened previously regarding, that is the STEAM event, the STEAM festival rather, that is aimed to mentor all young people at a tender age when it comes to uptake of science-related subjects, fields, and so many more. Now, of course, earlier on, I was with Roderick Muhumure. He's a research student at Chambogo University. But as we speak right about now, being joined with another lecturer, that is Dr. Savannah Nwagaba. She's a lecturer at Chambogo University. That is a Department of Mathematics and Statistics in the Faculty of Science. Many thanks for joining us, Dr. Savannah. It's a pleasure to have you.
It is my pleasure to be here too.
Okay, interesting. Now, to kickstart off here, I was having a discussion with Muhumure, and we are talking about this whole perspective of, uptake, and he mentioned something about the reason why there is low uptake is the way the teachers teach these new students. But away from that, now I'm assuming, as a country, Uganda, we are progressing, of course, I understand. Do we see ourselves at a point where we export these skills to other countries, such that we stop visiting these countries as modern day slaves, but as expatriates, selling the skill of science and technology to countries like Kenya, which can bring in more revenue for the country?
Thank you very much for that question. I think I'm a passionate African and Ugandan.
Exactly.
And I believe so much in what this continent can bring on board. The unfortunate thing, as you could have known, many people do not know that such things are happening in this country, like the STEAM festival.
Exactly.
But those who have taken an initiative to come and see what our students are doing, they definitely have seen for themselves that we have great potential in this country to export some of these skills and products that students produce. Our biggest challenge has been the link between us, the knowledge creators, and those who are supposed to take this knowledge and use it and take it to the next level. And I think I'm very excited to be hosted by Smart 24 because I think I am now aware that your focus is on businesses.
Absolutely.
Bridging this gap. And I think you are that link that we have been missing, because we have these innovations that have the potential to hit the market. But they usually stay on our shelves because that linkage has not been there. And I believe with this kind of collaboration, we can actually take these skills and products to the market, and we will not only influence Uganda or East Africa as you were talking about, but we can actually take it further. Instead of always receiving from China and wherever, we should actually be able to also take these skills and ideas there. So yes, the potential is great.
Okay, that is quite interesting. Now back to Muhumure there. When it comes to research, because I know you are much into research, what are those critical challenges that you encounter, most especially if you are in this country, Uganda, in relation to that? And maybe what later on Dr. Savannah will answer in line, being a lecturer, how are we ensuring that these students, when they're making the research, there is researching something irrelevant that is not even tailored to, because we are in different communities. Some of the research we obtain, for example, if I get something from a person in the United States, whatever they wrote is based on the society of America. As a country, Uganda, Kampala, we have our own unique challenges, and you find that some of these theories don't apply there. So, Muhumure, let's start from there. What are those critical challenges you encounter in obtaining the right research, and how can the academia come in to help to ensure that that gap is bridged?
Thank you so much. Actually, in the introduction, you had to hint on the very major challenge about tailoring our research topics or identifying the problem that suits our actual communities. So this is a big challenge that we get as people who are doing research. You find I have to do referencing, I have to do what they call background study, I have to read several documents before coming up with a problem that I'm going to talk about. So you find most of the things, the books or maybe the documents that have been published that I have to read, actually are talking about problems that are not in Uganda. And then I have to maybe give my references to those books somehow, somewhere, or maybe cite through those documentations that whose problems are not facing or maybe addressing the solutions that people locally need here. So as researchers, that is a very big problem that we've received on our end in the academia, and we always find it hard to start. And even when we start, it is very difficult to get the correct research from the community. Yes, whereby I'll come into a certain community, and the moment they see me, they'll look at money. I've come to collect data. They'll be like, these ones are maybe under a certain project, and they're having money, they're using our knowledge, or maybe taking advantage of our situation. Let's say, I'm going to give just an example. I go in a community that has been maybe stuck with maybe, okay, let's say, infested with tsetse flies in Uganda. So when I reach there, they'll be like, oh, these are the people who are actually coming to benefit of our problems. So they'll not give you the right information. That is also one of the other challenges. And when you have to dig it up on another scale, you find our research methods, especially if at all I'm going to go collect the samples and use the labs. You find we do not have even distribution of laboratories around the country. I'll give an example of myself. I'm supposed to do research, I think next month, and it is in Arua, in Bidibidi refugee camp. And I have to collect some samples, but it is weird that I have to travel to Kampala to get a very good standard lab that I have to use, for example, to get my results right. And you find there is always a gap on that distance you're traveling. It affects us a lot. So that is one of the things we need to do, whereby we need government commitment in distributing research labs throughout the country, and also changing the mindset of the people. Then when it comes to the learning institutions, then let us be so much intentional about research topics, and also guiding the students, especially when they're coming up with the research. In other countries, the students' research is what is based on to make the country, like the nation's decisions. You find if they have a problem, they oppose it to institutions of learning, let's say universities.
And they provide solutions. Actually, that is typical.
Yes. Whereas in Uganda, I don't know where they get their solutions from, but we've seen on series that they have not actually worked. So that is a problem we are getting in the area of research. Yes.
So, Dr. Savannah, how, from what is just mentioned, how can we tailor the research we obtain to fit the society needs and problems?
I will start with sharing an experience that I had in 2015.
Yes.
When I was invited for the Nobel laureate meeting in Germany. And one of the discussions around Africa, Africa not contributing to research and development, was centered around the fact that many of us are doing our research projects in different institutions on the continent, but there is no collaboration between these institutions. Nobody knows what is happening where. And sometimes you find one institution working on a project and another working on a similar project. And one is stuck at a point where the other one has already passed, but maybe they are also stuck somewhere where this other institution has expertise. But because we don't work together, everybody keeps stuck, and at the end of the day, we fail to progress. And looking at the festival, and looking at the objectives of the festival, one of them is to actually empower researchers to identify areas of public interest. And the moment you get the public into the picture, two institutions will not approach the same entity to look at their problems and look at the research they are going to do without this entity telling them institution X has been here. And the moment the public interest and the public problems are at the center, this kind of collaboration will automatically happen, because you will know we are looking at a problem, solving this problem together as a nation, and each institution brings, in Uganda we have what we call a tafari. So each institution brings its tafari, and at the end of the day we holistically solve this problem, leveraging the different skills that the different institutions bring on board. Another case is policies. How do we come up with policies in this country? And I want to thank our Vice Chancellor, Professor Erika Tunguka. One of the things he has pushed so much us as researchers to do at the university is to look at how we can do policy-based research. Research that can inform policy, so that you don't just do research for the sake of it, for you to publish and be known as an expert in this field, but can you think about how your research can translate into policy and practice. We are doing this even at classroom level. I can share my own experience as a lecturer. When I teach my students, I tell them we are here to tell stories of mathematics, and look at, when we leave this classroom, can we be able to see the mathematics around us? Can we be able to actually look at how this mathematics can influence the decisions we make? So we usually have time to do the mathematics, but we also have time to link the mathematics to our societal
to
problems.
societal
And
problems.
my students have come back to give me good feedback about their experiences. Even those who employ them are very happy and they wonder where they have been. So this is something that we are trying to do at Chambogo University, and I would invite all universities that have not thought about this policy-based research to actually come and join us so that we can solve our problems and find our homegrown solutions to our problems. I think COVID-19 taught us
absolutely
that we need to figure out how to actually solve our own problems locally, and we have the potential. So yeah, we are doing it, and I believe this is a good place for us to be as Ugandans, but also as Africans, as I told you.
So you say,
I believe in this continent.
seems like when we want
yeah,
to
add something small, is one of the things we need to understand is we need to also break down research for the community to understand so that they own it. In most cases, I think you bear witness with me, Doctor, that we got the communities to do research, and these people do not understand what we are doing. And even after publishing maybe the paper, we still do not go back to give them feedback and to break down what we did and how they could actually better themselves. So I feel that is a problem we have had, especially for another person who's coming to do research, maybe on another thing, but with the same community. Because they'll be like, these people always come and go. So what
there is no feedback of what
yes.
was collected.
Exactly. Yeah, so that is also one of the things I believe we can also consider as a nation and Africa whenever we are doing research, so that we have the people, however much the education and levels may not be so high, like not everyone knows, we can break it down to the knowledge or the language they understand, and they embrace research.
Okay. Maybe finally, time is not our best friend, but we can try to wrap up in the remaining few minutes. Talking about the STEAM Festival, since its introduction, let's assess their impact, how far you've come in terms of the achievements you've seen since you started to put this out.
Great. I think usually it is good to think about the impact coming from where we started this new thing that maybe was not so much welcomed.
Okay.
And maybe one of the things that were not so much welcomed was that the art of communicating science in a simple. And basic way. I usually, when I train students and staff, pre-STEAM on how to break down the scientific jargon, these big complicated words, into simple English or Luganda statements. One of the biggest obstacles that we have always had was I thought we had journalists. They are supposed to do this.
They're supposed to,
They are supposed to communicate to the general public. As a scientist, I should be able to speak my science my way. And I want to say that by the time we started preparing for this third edition of the festival, very many people are interested in coming to attend our trainings, even when they
because
were
of the ease
to present. And I think for me, this is a very big breakthrough to see that scientists are willing to come down and explain their science to my grandmother who may have stopped in P2, for them to appreciate the role that science plays in community development. The other that I have seen is from the student community. They now appreciate the value that education brings to them. We have a team that is working on a baby incubator. Now, some of us who have visited some of our hospitals, say Kawempe, you find mothers queuing up for the few incubators that are there, and some of the babies born in there prematurely, we have lost them. So these young Ugandans have created this baby incubator that can run on batteries, so that even if someone is in some clinic deep in the village, if they need to even transport this baby, they can put this incubator on a motorbike and transport this baby safely to a bigger facility. And for me, this is great. What I think we need through Smart TV is to get the business team, the businessmen and women who can invest in some of these innovations. In this festival, we had someone who came up with a very nice drone
Okay.
And of course, I know his interests are very up there. And during the festival, even got someone from UPDF interested in taking him on. And for me, when I see this excitement and feedback from students, I feel very happy.
That's already impact that people can see.
They can see and they appreciate what we are doing.
Okay, as we wind up, I'll start with you, Doctor. In just 1 minute, your last remarks in line with science and technology, where the country is standing currently and what we expect.
As the coordinator of the Chambo University STEAM Festival, I would say my last remark to Ugandans is that we can trust ourselves to actually build this nation ourselves through science, technology, and innovation. And if you are a parent out there and you have a son, you have a daughter who is interested in this, be their backbone. Let us encourage them and demystify science, technology, and innovation. If any Muzungu can do it, why not us?
And we're not different from them. It's just the blood is the same, the brain is the same. Yeah.
Let us change our mentality and embrace what we have within us. We can make Uganda, we can make this continent what we want to make it. As long as we work together and we believe in ourselves.
Roderick, your last comment on that.
Thank you so much for the offer. My last comment would be Africa is very rich. I think it's the richest continent.
It is.
Yeah, it is in the world. But the problem is we do not believe in ourselves. And given platforms and avenues like STEAM Festival, this is a time, an opportunity for Africans to take our position at the top.
Okay.
So I would really encourage the young people out there, my fellows, this is the time for us to get anything you can think of and bring it to life. Because for us to be at the top, we have to do something to get to the top. And otherwise, as we are thinking of our innovations and ideas, I normally say, let us do climate smart innovations. Our environment is key and we need to protect it. Yes, thank you so much.
All right. Thanks for being part of the show. Today's edition, Smart Means Business, on the 2nd of May 2024. Of course, with a major discussion falling in line with the science and technology for community transformation. Well, that is it for today. And go be productive for the day and strategize on how best you can actually make it up for the coming day. Have yourselves a wonderful day. Good morning.